Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. William Ruto will soon turn this country into a battlefield. It's now becoming messy because the Gen Z are not joking around. They had taken their battle to the CBD and they were dancing to some reggae there because this generation is doing their beat in a very different manner. I told you they have decided that it is Snapchat, it is Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and the level and the standard of information there is top notch. The generation that we're talking about that we saw on the streets are technocrats. These are lawyers, engineers, IT gurus, doctors, and they are from every field. Most of them don't have jobs. They have decided to do some businesses. And I saw them, they even had a way of performing first aid to maybe those who are injured here and there. But the information that they are giving on social media, because they were coordinating themselves, I'm looking at a post here and they are saying it's a sad state of affairs that at first I saw that they are now using live bullets. And they're saying they have shot someone near archives. And there was this campaign that we leave CBD as far as possible. And they were looking at other means because they are saying there are several ways of killing a rat. And they were urging their members to move away from the CBD. Then after some times, the photo that we see there is that our very own Gen Z has succumbed to injuries sustained by a rogue policer, Plan B, Anonymous, Total Shutdown, Occupy State House, Reject Finance Bill. And those pictures are really, really worrying because the person lying there, if at all these pictures are real, the person lying there is someone's son, someone who was just trying to fight for his own country and now he's been shot. And I'm just wondering, because no one can tell us that these people are violent. We have seen them now as they occupy from Eldoret to Nanyuki to Mombasa to the CBD. The only thing we know is that they are determined, energetic, and they have strength in their numbers. And so the question would be, why would a police officer who I assume is a parent, what informs that wisdom or lack of the same to shoot? Because the very little knowledge I have is that a police officer should only use violence or live bullet when his life is in danger or when he's protecting property. There is no evidence there that the Gen Z were posing any danger or they were breaking into anybody's property. This is very sad. But Pauline Njoroge is revealing another tactic that Gen Z is now using. That is why they are saying we are looking for an alternative. And a few hours ago, there was information Pauline Njoroge is saying there that government services cannot be accessed. The Gen Z has broken into the government system because I told you these are IT gurus and you continue messing up with them. Instead of tapping that knowledge that they have, you now condemn them to the streets and you want to shoot them. I can assure you that this is not going to be very palatable. The government is going to regret this. I want us to discuss this further. As sad as it is, allow me to request you to subscribe to our channel. Click the notification bell to allow YouTube to notify you. Like our videos and help us share them to all our subscribers and our supporters. I want to say thank you for your continued support. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the danger when you begin shooting our children, our brothers and sisters on the street. Number one, it is illegal. We cannot encourage extrajudicial killings. We cannot kill people who are innocent. I mean, this is unacceptable and it must be condemned with the strongest terms, in the strongest terms possible. And Kithure Kindiki is the Interior Cabinet Secretary. And I love the wealth of experience that Kithure has as a lawyer, an international lawyer, one who understands not only our national laws, but also connects well with the international laws. I don't think he should allow this to happen. The Inspector General Koome is, I don't know, I don't know whether he's one person I cannot appeal to because he's used to it, but this must be condemned. Now, when you identify our Gen Z demonstrating on the street and you start killing them, and you know they're exercising their constitutional mandate, let me remind the police and the UDA government that there was a time under the old constitution they were not allowed to go for demonstrations. And someone was explaining that many people would sit down, and because there was no alternative, the only thing they used to think about is how to topple a government. Because there were no avenues on how to express their displeasure, their anger, their disappointment. And that's why even in 1982, there was such an attempt of a coup d'etat. When you block all the avenues, then the only avenue you leave is for people to decide to kick you out. It is like when you corner a cat in an enclosed building and there is no any other way, the cat will chop off your eyes. Ask anyone and they will tell you. Now, the Gen Z knew that they were demonstrating according or in accordance to the law. But what the government is now doing, the government is telling them, no, we are at war. They are declaring war. They are beating war drums. They are drawing a battle line. And this is dangerous because those people who are demonstrating, I told you that we have laws that they understand that they are allowed to picket. They have a right to go for peaceful procession. And so when the government is now shooting them, the government is telling them, we are at war. They were not at war, but that is what the government is saying. Vita havina macho. There is no formula to war. You can depend on the guns, but there's a way they can also respond. So we do not want the government to declare a war because that is what they are telling them as they shoot them anyhow. They are also, this is how their radicalization takes place. You shoot someone and then they feel the pain that our own has been shot dead. And then they say, before the government knows it, they will go to the streets. And you know, when the adrenaline has risen to the highest level, they will go there knowing very well that I'm going to die. I'm going there with in a thick skin, and it will be very dangerous. It is like a provoked lion. You procession and you go for procession peacefully, and then you're being shot, and you know now there is war. Stop radicalizing our youth. You are doing this without knowing it, and it is not good at all. They are creating an enemy, or they're creating enmity between the police and this Gen Z. The police is supposed to be our friends. They are supposed to maintain law and order. They are supposed to go there and protect those who are demonstrating peacefully so that we don't have any interference from any other quarter. But what they're doing is that they're now creating an enmity. Let me give you an example. Have you ever been in a place where a group has caught some thief or a pickpocket or a thief and they have taken law into their hands, which is also illegal, but they do that because when they are taken to the police, they will be left after taking a bribe. Have you been in such a scenario? You'll realize that someone will come and he beats the victim, and when you ask them, because I always engage them, they tell you, I was once robbed. And anytime I see a thief, I know I quit them I quit him or her to the person who robbed me. With that anger, wanakuja lipisha kizazi hapo. And that is what will happen. When you've killed a fellow Gen Z, they will now look at the police as the enemy. So these people have got quite a lot of knowledge. They will devise means of fighting the police. You know that we live with the police just among us within the estates. Some of them are very innocent. But then when their colleagues start killing the Gen Z, then what they will do is that they will start, retaliating on innocent ones who are not even involved in such a war. And I can assure you will see this. And the more you intensify this, the more they devise other ways. They will meet a police at night and they beat him, they fly away or they flee away, and this is not good. And with this, they will be seeking revenge. And when they do that, it will be very chaotic. We are creating a chaotic environment within our country very unnecessarily. Very unnecessarily. William Ruto has got the numbers in parliament, they have passed it. Why then come and unleash terror in our youth? This is unacceptable. We must not allow this, because if we degenerate too far or too low, let me assure you that we are creating a very, very chaotic environment, which is not good. And Kithure Kindiki must have a way of talking to his policemen. And I know they are afraid that it can go the Sri Lanka way. Those numbers are swelling, and this is meant to create fear so that they will say, oh, they killed one of our own, so I'm not going. But I can assure you that with the level of unemployment, the level of insecurity, the level of poverty, our Gen Z will not keep quiet and they will not give up. William Ruto, you better listen to these people. They are the age of Charlene Ruto, your daughter, Nick Ruto. You can talk to them. You can listen to them. You can explain to them why you're doing this and doing this. And the day William Ruto stops listening to the IMF and the international community, we will be home and dry. William Ruto, you're not a bad man if you're listening, but your policies are bad. We cannot allow, again I repeat, the police to kill our innocent brothers and sisters on the streets. That's my take.